Yosemite. You've seen the photos, El Capitan's sheer face, Half Dome's dramatic curve. These images are more than just pretty, they're symbols of wild America, of adventure and awe. But a picture can't capture the crisp air, the thunder of waterfalls, or the scale that makes you feel small in the best way. Yosemite is more than a park, it's a living story, shaped by nature and people over millennia. Here, ancient forces carved the land, native peoples found home, and visionaries fought to protect it. It's a place where nature's power and human spirit meet. Yosemite's story is about preservation, recognizing that some places are so extraordinary, they must be saved for everyone. Stand in the valley, look up at the granite walls, and you realize this is a humbling, timeless place. The waterfalls roar, the forests thrive, and you're reminded to slow down and just be present. Let's go deeper, beyond the postcard views. We'll uncover how these rocks formed, who lived here first, and how Yosemite became a global icon. This journey spans millions of years, glaciers, native tribes, naturalists, and even a president. Yosemite is more than a pretty picture, it's a testament to nature's endurance and our responsibility to protect it. So, let's begin the real story of Yosemite. It's a story that's still being written. Yosemite Valley wasn't made overnight, it's the result of earth-shaking forces and relentless time. It began deep underground 100 million years ago as magma cooled into granite. This granite became the canvas for nature's masterpiece. Then came the glaciers, massive rivers of ice that carved, scraped, and sculpted the land. They transformed narrow canyons into the wide, U-shaped valley we see today. El Capitan stands because the granite was too tough for glaciers to break. Half Dome's iconic shape is the result of glaciers and peeling rock. After the glaciers melted, a lake filled the valley, then slowly silted in, creating today's lush floor. Every cliff and dome is a record of time, pressure, and the power of nature. Yosemite's landscape is a living geology lesson, millions of years in the making. The valley's beauty is the product of destruction and renewal. What we see today is the result of earth, ice, and time working together. It's a reminder that nature's greatest works are never rushed. Yosemite is proof that patience creates wonders. Long before tourists, Yosemite was home to the Ahwahneechee people. They called the valley Ahwahnee, place of a gaping mouth, and saw it as sacred, not just scenic. Their lives were woven into the land, gathering acorns, fishing, hunting, and using every resource with care. Every rock and waterfall had a name, a legend, a meaning. Half Dome was Tisa'ak, its face stained by tears and a story of love and loss. El Capitan was Totokan Ula, a sandhill crane in their creation tales. For centuries, the Ahwahneechee thrived here, living in harmony with the seasons. But the gold rush brought outsiders and conflict. In 1851, the Mariposa Battalion forced the Ahwahneechee from their land, ending an ancient way of life. Their descendants still work to preserve their heritage, reminding us that Yosemite was, and is, a cherished home. The valley's human story is as deep as its granite walls. Yosemite's history is not just natural, it's profoundly human. Remembering the first people is essential to understanding this place. The gold rush changed everything, bringing thousands to California and conflict to Yosemite. In 1851, the Mariposa Battalion entered the valley, chasing the Ahwahneechee, but found themselves awestruck by its beauty. Dr. Lafayette Bunnell named it Yosemite, misunderstanding the native word. Word spread quickly. Sketches, stories, and especially Carlton Watkins's photographs captured imaginations nationwide. Soon intrepid tourists braved rough trails to see the valley for themselves. Artists and photographers turned Yosemite into a national sensation. Their images weren't just art, they were arguments for preservation. People began to see Yosemite as a treasure, too special for exploitation. The idea took hold. This place belonged to everyone, not just a few. Early visitors and artists set the stage for conservation. Yosemite's fame grew, and so did the movement to protect it. A new era in American conservation was about to begin. If Yosemite has a hero, it's John Muir. Arriving in 1868, Muir fell in love with the valley and made it his home. He saw Yosemite as a cathedral, a place of spiritual renewal and wild beauty. Through passionate writing, Muir inspired a nation to care about this wilderness. He argued against the experts that glaciers, not earthquakes, carved the valley, and he was right. Muir's advocacy reached its peak in 1903, when he camped with President Theodore Roosevelt under the stars. He convinced Roosevelt that Yosemite needed full federal protection. That legendary trip changed conservation history. Muir's voice became the voice of the mountains, calling for preservation, not just admiration. His legacy is the reason Yosemite and so many other wild places are protected today. Yosemite's story is inseparable from John Muir's passion. Protecting Yosemite was revolutionary. In 1864, President Lincoln signed the Yosemite Grant, setting aside the valley and Mariposa Grove for public use, the first time the U.S. protected land just for its beauty. But state management was inconsistent and threats remained. John Muir and the Sierra Club pushed for broader protection, arguing the whole ecosystem needed saving. In 1890, Congress created Yosemite National Park, protecting the high country but leaving the valley under state control. This awkward split lasted until 1906, when, after years of advocacy and Roosevelt's visit, the valley and grove joined the national park. Yosemite's protection set a precedent, inspiring the creation of the national park system in 1916. The fight to save Yosemite was about more than one place. It was about the idea of national parks. Yosemite became a model for conservation worldwide. Its story is the blueprint for protecting natural wonders everywhere. The park's creation changed how we value wild places. Yosemite's legacy is global. Today, Yosemite is a crown jewel. Millions visit each year to stand in awe of its cliffs, waterfalls, and ancient trees. But it's more than scenery. It's a living, complex ecosystem. Balancing preservation and recreation is a constant challenge. Yosemite's wildlife is legendary, especially its black bears, once notorious for raiding cars. Strict food rules have helped, but the wildness remains. The park's history is full of quirks, like the nightly firefall, a cascade of embers once pushed off Glacier Point. Yosemite is also a mecca for rock climbers, who scale El Capitan's sheer walls over days and nights. People come for adventure, peace, and a connection to something timeless. In a digital world, Yosemite anchors us to nature's power and beauty. It's a place to challenge yourself, to find quiet, or just to watch the light change on Half Dome. Yosemite's story is one of wonder, history, and the ongoing effort to protect what matters. It's a reminder that some places are worth fighting for, and that story never gets old.